A wide-angle prime lens is good to have. A super wide, well, I don't know if it's good to call super wide, this Samyang 12mm f2.0 lens for a Fuji X mount, and it is also autofocus lens. Hi, it's Peter here. And before we get into the business, a disclaimer. This lens is not mine. Focus Nordic, who imports Samyang to Finland, asked me if I wanted to test it, and I said yes, because I think it's an interesting lens for many reasons. And everything I say are my own opinion, and Focus Nordic has not said what to say in this video. But let's get into the business now. Oops, I will be testing this lens to photograph some murals, and here is an interesting one. Apartment house building in a suburb close to Helsinki. There's nothing really interesting around it, but the mural itself is quite interesting. And the great part of this is that it's painted with a paint that reduces pollution. It clears air, which is mind-blowing that paint can do that. On the way to the next stop, I saw those murals. Pretty cool. It's a small railway station in a suburb here in Vantaa. And let's next talk about the look and feel of this lens. Well, I have some business to take care of in the building in the back, so testing this and doing some errands during the day. So it's a productive and busy day. But yeah, we were supposed to talk about the look and feel of this lens. It looks really premium and it really feels good, and it's not too big, even though it's an f2.0 lens, and it's a perfect size for XS20, and I really like the look and feel of the lens, and it has a very good lens hood too, which of course comes off, and the filter thread is 62, which is quite convenient size, so it's not that big of a lens, which is good. And it also comes with a nice pouch where you can hold the lens. It's very good protective case for the lens, which is always good, because when you toss them into the bag, it's nice to have a pouch to put the lens in, and so it will not get any scratches or stuff like that. And let's talk about usability of this lens. It feels nice, like I already said in the look and feel part, and it's a perfect size on this particular body, so in that sense the usability is also good. But then there is one thing that I would love to have in a Fuji X mount lens: the aperture ring, because I'm astonishingly fast when I got used to it, because that was back in the day when I was using film photography, or using film as a medium for photography. The old cameras had the aperture ring in the lens, and I'm so used to it, so I would love if, I don't know if you could hear, there was a car going by, but I would love if they added that to these third-party lenses also, are meant for a lot of cars, meant for Fuji X mount. And then this is an AF lens, but it has of course a manual focus ring, which is quite wide, as you see it from there, and which is really good to hold, and it's easy to manually focus. The only problem is that it's just turns and turns and turns, and there is no hard stops, which I would prefer. And there is some focus breathing, so for video the manual focus is not perfect, but for run and gun situations with a good IBIS or gimbal, this is a perfect lens, because stopping down a bit, the depth of field is quite big, so focusing isn't that critical in that sense. How did I test it? As you've been probably noticing, that I've been photographing some murals, and will be doing that some more with the lens that I'm testing. Unfortunately, I did not have that much time to test this lens, because life happens, and that's why the subject aren't that or does not have that much variety. I wish I could have had a bit more time or a different time to test this lens, but I hope you still get the idea how good or bad this lens is. And here are some murals that you might have seen before in my videos. I've been here before I just love this area where they have these murals. Let's go a little closer so we can get that one, which I like. Let's talk about the image quality next. The first thing you noticed is the pretty severe barrel distortion. But of course that can be fixed with image editing software, so I would not be too worried about that. But of course it's an extra step because the camera doesn't correct, at least Fuji X-S20 doesn't correct that very well. But on Lightroom you add, and now I have to check how much was it. It was around 10 to do that, and it's gone when you adjust it in Lightroom. And then on DxO Photolab 7, which unfortunately does not have the lens module for this particular combo, so you have to do it manually, and it's about plus 15 to fix that. And let's see about fringing, which is also present, and on this type of wide angle lens I think it's not a good thing, because you mainly take this for, let's say, cityscapes, and you have some trees in parks, and you have landscape, you have trees, and in that sense in the corners it is, to be honest, a bit severe, and it can be fixed but not totally, so it is a slight of a problem with this lens. But otherwise the image quality is quite nice, and of course, like always, you stop down a notch and the image quality will be better, and roughly f4, f5.6 the image quality is at its best. The price of the lens is around 374 euros/dollars, so it's not a very bad price for the lens what it is. Of course it has its faults, but on the other hand it's not that expensive. And I have to check, guess, Fuji has a 14mm, I think it's f2.8 lens, which costs around 900, so compared to that it's a good bargain for this lens. And I do have some affiliate links for the lens if you want to get it. Let's see, now we can cross the streets because there is some green light over here. Alright, let's see if we can make it. Nope, we can't. Okay, here we are back at the Käärijä mural. While I try to get a decent photograph of this mural, I put some specs on the screen. But as you see, the photographing this won't be that easy. It's a very narrow street and it's pretty high up. This would be a great thing to photograph with a drone, but since I'm not doing a video about a drone, I'm doing a 12mm Samyang lens. Okay, here you have the mural, and now I'm trying to photograph it, and I will show the specs. And the closest focusing distance is about 20 centimeters. That's a good feature to have, so if you need to get close, it's possible. Yeah, the Samyang 12mm f2.0 lens is a good option, budget option for your needs in wide angle lenses. And if you have a Fuji camera, this is one option for you. It's quite good, even though it has its faults, and if you don't mind that, then it's a very good option because it doesn't cost that much, like I said, compared to other brands or other lenses that are similar focal lengths. And speaking of that, I did test the Tamron 11 to 20mm f2.8 lens, so you might want to watch that. But hey, thanks for watching and bye for now.